Hold on a sec. It's being really weird. Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I am coming to you live, and it is Thursday. We are towards the end of the week, and I'm sure you've been all busy. And we, as a team here, preparing for the Beyond Boudoir event that is going to be happening on Monday, Valentine's Day, February 14th. Make sure to have plans in the evening, but in the afternoon at 12, make sure to tune in. I'm going to be talking about four pillars of how to awaken your confidence, and then how to use that confidence to create more sexy vibe in your life, in your relationship, within you all together, and how to keep it. Why Beyond Boudoir? When my team started reaching out to you earlier in the week, we have come across the fact that everyone perceives us as a boudoir studio, which is fine. We've been doing that for years, but a lot of you are still not within that reality that we are so much more than boudoir, and we have been for the past 2 years. We have not been just solely a boudoir studio. That is why we are special. That is why we are different. That is why we take the whole integrated approach to a boudoir session. Back when I started Boudoir Studio, probably about 2 years in, I've started noticing the transformation that women were getting from a boudoir session. And the transformation was not just, hey, let's put the makeup on. Hey, let's take some pictures. Hey, like, I feel sexy and all that. It's great. Perfect. Like, that is the idea, but there is a bigger picture, much bigger picture in the whole process. And me being a very deep and intuitive person, I realized that women are here for boudoir session not to have pictures taken. If you're here to take pictures taken, out, go away. I don't want you. Like, I want women who need transformation. I want women who need transformation. And that is why you coming to our studio to get that transformation, not just pictures. All right. So our client who is coming to us is getting the transformation. And that is what we delivering as a studio. If you're not valuing transformation, if you are here for the wrong reasons, we don't want you. And we're that blunt. Like, I'm not tolerant of people who disrespect us. I'm not tolerant of people who keep rescheduling their phone calls with my girls. I'm not tolerant. Like, I would say, okay, cut these people off. They are not a fit for our business. We either being valued or we not being valued, and this is not a fit. How many people have been cut from our group alone because they weren't valuing what we have to say and what we have to offer? I am so damn non-negotiable about this. I only have people who are in it for the right reasons, and I only surround and let my girls, my team, my angels, I call them my angel team, to work with women who are here for the right reasons and who are valuing us. If you're not valuing what our time, if you're not valuing what we have to offer, if you're going and complaining to your friends because certain things are either expensive or like whatever, like, you're not the right person. You're not, like, this is not for you. We don't want you because you're not valuing what we have to offer. It's not about the pictures. It's about the experience, the transformation. We are literally walking you through the entire experience by the hand. If you want, just like the pictures, there's tons of people doing that for much cheaper than we do, right? What we do is we baby you in easing you and preparing you to step into your greatness, into your greatness. And that has been the business model all along. We go all out That is why I have a team member that I am paying at every step of the process, because they are focused on where they're doing best, so we can deliver our best to you. Our best to you. Nobody else is doing that. Nobody else is doing that. Beyond Boudoir, we are going beyond boudoir, and we have been going beyond boudoir for much longer than you think, right? Every time woman goes through transformation, through their experience, she goes through a transformation. She looks in a mirror. She doesn't look in the mirror the same way. She looks in a mirror as a new transformed person. So many women have shared with me, wow, Katya, you have changed my life. I now start wearing high heels. I now start putting makeup on. I am now a swinger. Like for the past in the past 1 month, 2 clients came out to me and said, Katya, because I did a boudoir session with you, like we've opened up our relationship and our marriage skyrocketed. I was like, wow, like, am I really having that effect of people like turning them into swingers? Well, that's awesome. That's great. Like, I can totally see how there's a lot to it that is so enticing. However, there's a right and wrong way to do this. I am somewhat understanding what the right and what the wrong way, but it is really about the couple's dynamic and what works for each couple, because I've seen people doing it together and doing it separately, right? So I've seen it all, and there's no rule to this, right? But that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is the fact that you're not going to be the same person after going through your boudoir session. Yes, it's great experience. Yes, it's great fun day that you haven't like given yourself such an amazing transformation in a very long time. Yes, and yes, and yes. But there is so much more to your transformation than that. And what happens most of the time, and what I have not been able to do this until lately, is to continue that transformation further into your life. Further into your life. Yes, you came in for a boudoir session. Yes, you've experienced your Lovegodesss. And yes, guess what happened? You went back home, and most of you went back home, and you're back in your pajamas, and you're back like not having sex, and you're back at like not feeling pretty every day because you are not putting the effort, or having no desire, or not knowing how to maintain that Lovegodesss that you have discovered during your boudoir session. And yes, it's great to have your album. And yes, it's wonderful to pick it up off the shelf. And yes, it's beautiful to look through the photos and remember, this is the fuck I am. This is who I am. I am the Lovegodesss. And then what? And then what? You have this reinforcement for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then you forget again. How do you maintain her? How do you feel that you are beautiful every single minute of your life? How do you go through life feeling like, yeah, I got it? Guys are messaging me like left and right, telling me like, oh my God, I want like your attention. I want your love. I want whatever, right? Like, fuck yeah, it's encouraging. And yes, it's boosting ego. But how did I do that? I am in that state all the time. I energetically attract all of that. It's my world. I have incorporated that into my own world, and I thrive in my own world because I have decided I will be the goddess of my life, and I will be creating rules for my life myself. I don't need anyone else to tell me how to live. I will create my own rules. And on top of that, I will tell those guys how they should behave with me, right? And how I expect them to be with me, right? And how I need to be worshipped, right? That's my own way. That's my Lovegodesss. I created what I wanted to create in my own life, right? I have created that identity for myself. But your Lovegodesss looks different. It looks different than mine. It's not the same. That is the beauty of that. Your love goddess may be a Marilyn Monroe. She's very, very soft and very fluffy, and she's just very flirty, right? And I have that side to me too, and I use it that side, especially when the dynamic with certain people requires that. I totally like, I love that. But on the other hand, like, there's so many sides to me as well. I can be soft and sensual, and I can be harsh and firm, and I can be a boss bitch. And I can be a leader, and I can be your guide and mentor in all of this, right? Like, there's so many, and I am also a mother, and I'm also a wife, right? Like, there's so many different sides to me as well. And I have learned to wear those hats at the same time. And I've learned to be able to be flexible, to flip them and switch them however I want. Right? So, what does Beyond Boudoir event even gonna cover? Let me go into that. I already mentioned that, yes, you've experienced your transformation during the session. Going through Lovegodesss Academy, which I will introduce very soon with to you girls, is your number one step on the Lovegodesss journey. It's your number one step. It's not your boudoir session. It's Lovegodesss Academy, where you go and learn and develop new qualities. So then step number 2 is coming to a boudoir session and embrace that woman that you have discovered in the process. Embrace that woman, become her, celebrate her, capture her, envision her, put her on your wall so you wake up every single day to that woman and celebrate the new you. Your session is step number 2. Step number 1 is Lovegodesss Academy. Step number 2 is your photo session. And step number 3, after you've gone through the academy, after you've done your photo session, what else? How do you keep maintaining that? We are working on creating the entire culture and community around the fact that, you know, there will be daily opportunities to engage and indulge in your sexuality. Sensual dances, pole dancing. We're working on opening the pole dancing studio and inviting pole dance instructors. We are working on incorporating all of the sensual aspects of what it is to be a woman and what it is to be different than a man. And you want to, the more you indulge in your femininity, the more irresistible you will become to the other sex. Because of that difference, they cannot be you, because they can bend like that. They can't be sexy like that. You're a feminine human being for a reason, and you have your bodies built completely different than any of the guys' bodies, right? You move differently. Everything around you is different. You can birth motherfucking kids to this world. Hello, out of thin air. They come out of thin air. Like, how bizarre. That's how much power women have. I still can't get over that. We're so magical. There's so much power to us, and we yet not recognizing that power. And a lot of you have been not only conditioned by the society, but also you've been slut shamed. You've been shamed for your body. You've been shamed for not being enough. And guess what? When that shaming happened, probably when you were little, probably when you are maybe 4 or 5 years old, probably when you were 4 or 5 years old, somewhere, someone, like, you either overheard or somebody commented on your body, on you, or something happened that traumatized you for life, and you may not even remember. It is so deeply unconscious. And at that moment, when this trauma happened in your life, you shut yourself down and you made a decision, oh, I'll be quiet, or I'm not gonna like undress my body or expose my body. Or you may have gotten this message that being in a feminine body is different than being in a masculine body, and you're supposed to cover up simply because you're a woman. You gotten this subconscious message that being a woman is not okay in this world, and it's a man's world that we are living in. And all of these messages, All of these messages are still in your body. They didn't go away unless you energetically cleared them outside of your body. They're still in your body somewhere, energetically and physically. They're still in your body. That is why so many women are so stiff. They walk like a dude. They protect themselves. They have this body language that they're scared. They want to, like, they're protecting themselves. They're afraid to be in the world in the feminine body. They're afraid to be in a feminine body, and that's why they're shutting down. They're so shut down they can't even move. That's why our back hurts. That's why our heart hurts. We're having problem with certain areas in our body, most likely because that is where we are holding that tension or that trauma or whatever that is that we have experienced back when we were still kids. And it's still on the subconscious level within ourselves, and it's still on that body. And through movement, that is why it is step 3. Your movement, your sensual practice is step 3 on the path of Lovegodesss. Through movement, you are able to unstiffen that body part where you hold that energy, and you are able to move your energy outside of your body. You move it through your breath. You move it through movement, through dancing. You are moving that energy outside of your body through voice, through clearing. I do a lot of energy work where I clear it outside of my body. A lot of that. Like, and I feel like my body starts shaking. I almost feel that it's like certain areas that I've been hurt, it's like starts shaking. I'm clearing that energy out of my body using all of those methods: breathing, moving, voice, sound, right? So there's so many ways, like we are still caring. That's why so many women are shut down in their personal life, in their sex life, in their life. They're not even moving like women. We just learned we're living in men's world, and we have to act like we got it, like we are a man. Who fucking wants to fuck a man? No one. Not only that, it is for you. It is for you to embrace and finally be comfortable with who you are in a feminine body. Finally be comfortable with who you are in a feminine body. And a lot of you decided, oh, I'm not fitting the Instagram standards because I'm not skinny enough, and I'm gonna cry about it, and I'm gonna go and be sad about it. And those Instagram standards are not even real, but all of that is your projection of that trauma that you've experienced during your childhood. That those ideas that you need to be perfect in order to be loved came from early childhood and from social conditioning, and you already forgot what the root of that is, and you now just only focusing on what you look like and being unhappy in your body, period. Being unhappy in your body is being projected on the outside. The reason why we're gaining weight is because we don't love ourselves. The reason why we're gaining weight is because we are afraid, and we need those extra layers for protection from the outside world. It is unconscious philosophy. It is trauma that we've gone through. I've talked to a woman once. She had sexual abuse trauma back long time ago, and she is overweight. I'm not gonna be afraid to say that. That was actually her own words. And she shared with me that this is her protection mechanism, and she actually understood it. A lot of us don't understand it in a conscious way. She actually understood it in a conscious way. She told me that her takeaway from that experience is that it's not okay to be beautiful. Her takeaway from that experience, from that sexual abuse, from that sexual trauma back in her life, was that it's not okay to be beautiful as a woman in this world. and she accumulated extra layers. She believed it so much that she created this layer of protection, because we are so afraid to be hurt, and we are so protecting that inner core that is so vulnerable, that I'm telling you to awaken. That I'm telling you to awaken through the Lovegodesss journey, because that is your source of power. That is your source of power. That is your confidence. That is where your confidence comes from, is when you tap into that authentic core, that is divine core that we all have, that we all trying to protect so badly. When you tap into that, and I know you're afraid to tap into that, but when you tap into that, everything changes. Everything changes in your life. We're going to cover 4 pillars. We're going to cover 4 pillars in our Beyond Boudoir event that is actually, it's going to be kicking off on February 14th, and it's going to be going for 9 days. Each day, I will share a piece of information with you that's going to change your life. The 4 pillars that we're going to start with is we're going to discover why it is that who the Lovegodesss is, why you need to tap into her, where her confidence lies, how to awaken her. Once you are awakened her, you take that power within her that is her confidence. You take that power that is her confidence, and you embody that confidence within yourself. I will give you exact steps, exact ways you will embody your confidence through the archetype of the Lovegodesss that we will awaken, right? Pillar number 3, when you have that confidence that we all are so craving, we're not confident about our body. And I already shared the reason why you're not confident about your body is, yes, there's social programming. Yes, there is a lot of that outside messaging, but most likely there is that childhood trauma that you have experienced, that you are so now hooked and connected to the fact that you need to look good and you need to be beautiful in order to be valued. And your self-validation is connected to the way you look instead of the true areas where your self-validation should be connected. The value that you bring to the world, the things that fulfill you, those are your gifts, right? Pillar number 3 is using that confidence that we awakened in pillar number 2 and project that confidence into your own life. Majority of you women are married with kids, probably somewhere between 25 and 55, right? And I know that your sex life is probably either really boring or non-existent, because that's majority of marriages. You got too complacent, too comfortable, and you're just too afraid to admit it. If you're in a new relationship, great. You're probably gonna have that spark for a while until you get complacent too, right? If you are not in a relationship, that's fine. You can still go through the program, through the steps, and just use it for the new relationship that you will be attracting. And on top of that, it's good for you to know, as you are developing, growing into a long-term relationship, you need to know how to maintain that energy within your relationship to keep the spark alive, right? Otherwise, we're going to repeat the pattern, right? Why so many of us get divorced? Because he's either not appreciating us, he's emotionally abusive, you guys grew apart in life and different interests and whatnot, right? Or you just don't find him interesting anymore, or he is too complacent, he's not, like, there's so many reasons, right? Those are most common that I keep hearing. Guess what? So we repeated our pattern. Like, if we don't change who we are and how we show up in that relationship, there is a risk we can repeat the pattern again, right? And the pattern only repeats itself because you didn't learn the lesson. You didn't learn the lesson. So in order to learn the lessons, you need to do things differently this time. You need to do things differently this time. So if you're single, learn the methods, because you will be using them for your relationship and moving forward and ongoingly inside your relationship, right? So pillar number 3, we take that confidence that we discovered in pillar number 2 and we project it onto our current relationship. We are showing up in our current relationship as a confident woman who is not afraid to claim what's hers, right? We are standing up, we're learning how to seduce, we are generating lust, and we also learning how to initiate without being rejected. I did a poll recently, right, with you, and a lot of you actually said that, like, there's either no desire, too much bullshit going on around the house, that you're like too busy to have sex, right? Or when you do initiate, he just says no, right? There is a method to do it right. So what you've shared with me is the wrong way. Most of you doing it the wrong way. I will share my method, how to do it the right way, but I'll share a little teaser on what the right way is. You have to prepare. You can't just all of a sudden say, hey, let's go have sex, right? It's like, oh no, I've just like planned it all. Like I have my, like, I need to clean dishes, like that. Nobody's gonna have sex. Like, it's too much, too soon, too fast. I'm not mentally prepared. You prepare, right? And there are steps to preparing that. So when the time is right, you both are ready. And it's like, we are ready to do this, right? And both of you are desiring each other, and you are creating and nourishing that fire. And that is what the last method is, right? And method number pillar number 4. What's the pillar number 4? We, like, it happened once, great, but how do you make it, like, how do you create that energy in your life that is there on a consistent basis? How do you create and cherish that sexual charge within a long-term relationship to be there on a consistent basis? And that is when I'm going and teaching you the fantasy method that I am using in my own relationship, and I will be sharing my method with you. My husband now sends me messages. Like, he literally have not been sending me messages for the 15 years that we've been together. He never sent me good morning messages. For the past month, every morning he sends me good morning messages. I've been using my fantasy method. He's like, he wants to, he cherishes that time that we have together. He doesn't want to lose me. He loves me even more, just because there is that fantasy element that I've created in my own relationship as well. And I will be sharing that with you. But creating that fantasy side world that I'm going to teach you about in pillar number 4 is your key to have alongside with your real world, with your real life, right? With the dishes and the kids and all of that, right? That's not going to turn anyone on. Having the dishes and the kids and the bills is like, right? But having the fantasy world is your counterpart. That is how you balance it out. That is where the lust comes in. That is where the spark comes in. But you have to maintain that fantasy world, and you have to prioritize that as well. So I am going and teaching you how to do that in pillar number 4. So that is what we are covering in the Beyond Boudoir workshop. That is completely free. I'm teaching you my methods because you need to know them. And I know that will help you get back into the goddess that you have discovered in your photo session back when you had a photo session. If you haven't had a photo session and doing this first, that's wonderful, because it will prepare you to embrace your love goddess. Right now, I know why most women are afraid to book a photo session, because they don't believe they could be as gorgeous, as beautiful, as confident, as amazing, as sexy. That is why your step number one is going through the program of awakening that woman first, getting that courage first, getting that confidence first. So then you step into a photo session, and that is when you are experiencing that transformation and celebration of that woman that you have become in the process. And you're going to continue evolving, you're going to continue growing, you're going to continue I'm going to share the methods, but you'll eventually find out what certain things work for you and your relationship. Because yes, there is a general theory, and yes, there are general rules, but each relationship dynamic is completely different, and you will need to learn how to apply that within your own relationship, right? So that is what we will be covering in the Beyond Boudoir event. So you understand that boudoir is just a little piece to the puzzle. It's a little piece to the puzzle, but there is such a bigger picture. There is such a bigger world of being a love goddess, of embracing your love goddess, and of truly knowing who she is, truly discovering who she is, right? Thank you so much for tuning in today. And I am so excited that you are tuning in. I love you so much. I cannot wait to see you on February 14th. I have just shared the 4 pillars and what it is that we will be covering. So we'll go dive deep into those 4 pillars so we can tap into your confidence, discover your love goddess, start creating lost in your relationship, and then using that same energy and create the fantasy world in your own life. And with that, my love goddess, I'm gonna let you go today, but tomorrow I will be coming back and I'll be sharing with you a little more information about that, and I can't wait to talk to you then. Love you.